In this training, you will witness a full sales discovery. I'm going to be the closer, and one of my students is going to be the prospect. And you'll get to experience the sales methodology that allowed me to earn over $100,000 a month in commissions. You'll be able to identify the things that are missing in your sales call discovery that are keeping you from earning more money in sales. So without any further ado, let's crack in. So, Dom, in your opinion, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you're having with running a profitable faceless YouTube channel right now?
Yeah, Josh. So the biggest challenge for me is like I've been posting a lot. Like I've been actually posting a lot for like the past 3 months now. And it's the fact of like, even though I'm posting, I'm just getting no traction. Like after 3 months of posting, I have only 116 subscribers. So it's just getting that traction, maybe uploading the right videos. Like I honestly have no idea.
Okay. So you've been posting a lot for the last 3 months. You've got 116 subscribers, but you're not getting enough traction. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate.
What do you mean by traction?
Yeah, I'd say it kind of goes into two parts. So one part would be just overall views and subscribers, and the only thing, the other thing would be below the videos, I throw in like affiliate links. I throw in digital products, so basically it's like I'm not getting enough sales there too.
Okay. Are you doing this to get sales, or is there any part of you that is doing this to become someone that has a massive amount of views, a massive amount of subscribers, and you want to do like some type of, I don't know, like some type of personal branding thing, or are you doing this right now to
Mhm.
just make sales?
Yeah, so it's the thing of I'm building the channel to of course build that brand in the process, the faceless brand. But I'm also
Right.
like in the process, I thought why not just throw in those actual links, kind of maybe someone will buy, right?
Understood. Let me rephrase the question then. In a scenario where you had a million subscribers and all of your videos were getting hundreds of thousands of views, but you weren't really making any sales, is that what you want? Or do you, or would you be happy with a business where, or a faceless YouTube channel where maybe you only get 1,000 views a video, but you're getting 20 high ticket sales from 1,000 views and maybe you've only got 5,000 subscribers? I just want to understand what you're doing this for. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm more of the just building the channel. I'll be honest. That's like more of the bigger thing for me. The other stuff is just like extras. You know, if they come in, it's nice, but the biggest thing is just the brand and the channel for me.
Okay. Why? What is your, like, what are you doing this for? Building the channel, building the brand, building the views, subscribers. If it's not for money from the faceless YouTube, what are you doing it for?
Yeah, so it's like, of course, I'll get money from AdSense, right? And
Right.
if I just kind of like build that channel up, I'll start getting that money regardless. But it's kind of
Uh-huh.
like I'm building this for just for the freedom, right? With the money, the freedom comes in. So that's like the biggest aspect for me.
Okay. Help me understand. How are you building freedom with a faceless YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's just like building the faceless YouTube channel, of course, money is the one of the drivers, of course. And I'll be honest, like just getting money from the channel and then being able to just focus on this full time
Hmm.
because I wanted to kind of replace my income too, right? So it's like building that brand, potentially then using that brand to, maybe build out my offer or something like that, like sell those digital products, capitalize off like affiliate marketing, like all that kind of stuff that you can do with a personal brand.
Hmm. So, of all the different things that you're kind of doing this for, long-term brand building, replacing your income, what is the number one thing that you want to accomplish right now with your faceless YouTube channel?
I just want to monetize it
Okay.
and I want to grow my brand so at least I can start earning the money from AdSense right now. That's like the biggest thing for now.
Okay. What's the intention behind that? You want to get to a level where you're making money from AdSense. Why? Is that to leave your job or why?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working in a retail store for the past 3 years now.
Hmm.
Kind of got sick of it. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. So it's like, yeah, I just want to build that up, start making money so I could just transition and leave that job behind.
So is that the number one thing that you want to accomplish right now?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, I want to just build it, get monetized, start making money, quit my job. That's like my whole action plan if that's kind of making sense for you.
Yeah, it's definitely making sense. It's just when I've been asking you questions, you've got a lot of kind of intentions. And if you've ever heard the phrase, the man who chases, five rabbits catches none, I need to make sure that I can help you. And so I need to be able to dial in what exactly are you trying to accomplish? Is it leaving your job? Is that the one thing that you want to do next? I know there'll be other goals after that, but right now, is
Yeah.
that why we're on this call?
Yeah, right now is just leaving my job.
Okay. Thank you. Clear on that. How much do you get paid right now in your job on a monthly basis?
Yeah, so it varies. It's like sometimes it's like 3K, sometimes it's like 4K. It's because
Okay.
sometimes I work overtime, so it all really
Okay.
depends.
Okay. So if it ranges from 3 to 4K, have you identified exactly how much money you need to be coming in consistently from your faceless YouTube channel so you would feel comfortable to quit the job?
Yeah, at least that good like 5K mark. That would
Okay.
be like making that consistently for like at least 2 months. That's where, yeah, I can just do it full time.
Got it. So 5K, at least 2 months. That makes total sense. So now I'm clear on that. Let's get into kind of what's going on right now. So in the last 30 days from your faceless YouTube channel, how much did you make?
Yeah, I made $20 because one product that I put in the description got bought from my affiliate link. So $20.
For the month?
Yeah.
The whole month?
Yeah, like for the whole month.
Okay.
I mean, I only have, 116 subscribers, so I can't really make money from AdSense at the moment. I have to reach 1K subscribers to do that.
Okay. So $20 last month. What about the month before? Did you make anything?
I didn't make anything
Okay.
that month.
So you're at the point where you're at somewhere between 0 and, $20 on a monthly basis. Is that
Yeah,
accurate?
because it's like, as I mentioned, I'm still, kind of in the growing phases. I have those products like put down with affiliate links, below in the description. But
Yep.
it's like those are some people buy it, some people don't. Like, it's just like two purchases. So
Hmm. And when you say that you made $20, what did you sell? A $20 product? What one $20 product?
now, so my niche is like fitness.
Okay.
So I put down an affiliate link for like I had one video talking about supplements, like faceless video talking about supplements. So I put down an actual affiliate link that's about like buying that certain supplement. So
Right.
when the like two people bought it and basically one purchase leads to me getting $10. So it's like I made $20 from two purchases from my affiliate.
Got it. So you had two purchases and they each gave you $10. Okay. Because what I'm trying to understand here, as far as you getting up to $5,000, if you continue with doing that, you would basically need to do, what's that number? The 10, 100. You would need to 250x. If you kept everything the same, but you, as in the same type of product, the same amount per product, you would need to 250x what you're doing to make 5,000. Is that accurate?
I mean, I never did the maths here, but it definitely does make sense. Yeah.
When you hear that number, what goes through your head?
I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking about, like just got to get monetized as soon as possible. So, it's not only the product, but it's also like AdSense coming in for me. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Okay. What does that look like based on your niche and what you want to do as far as getting AdSense monetized? Have you looked into the numbers of that? Like how many subscribers you need, how many views, what you're going to get paid? What research have you done on that?
Yeah, so I haven't done extensive research on it. Like from what I know, the basics is like 1K subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. That's kind of all I know in terms of how much I'll be paid for 1,000 views. I guess that also like depends. So can't really give you a range on that because I still haven't hit the 1K.
Sorry, clarify that. I'm confused. When you say you don't know, So you're saying you don't know how many subscribers you need to get to or how many views you need to get to be making money on AdSense or how
Now,
much
as I
money?
mentioned, like I know on YouTube, you got to reach that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. That's when you're eligible to be monetized. But it's
Yep.
like, oh, only then when I get monetized, that's where I can actually know the metrics of like how much I'm being paid for 1,000 views, if that makes sense.
Okay. And that's because it will be based on your niche, your channel, and it's all customized.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not confused, but a little bit curious. If you don't know like how much you're going to be given once you pass the eligibility phase, what is having you so certain that this is the direction you want to go to get out of your job?
I don't know. It's like one of my childhood buddies, he got into faceless YouTube like 6 months ago.
Okay.
So I saw him like actually hit those like significant results.
Okay.
Like within 3 months, he made his first $3,000 from his channel, and from what I know now is he's making about like 11 last month. So
I see. So even though you haven't seen the numbers from YouTube, like on the back end of YouTube, you have absolute certainty that you can hit at least the numbers that you want to hit to quit your job if your friend is doing 11K and he's only been doing this for a number of months.
yeah,
Is that accurate? Okay.
that
Was there any
accurate.
other
Yeah.
reason that this is the direction you want to go, or was that the thing that you're like, okay, I need to get involved in this? Was there any other reasons that you knew that YouTube AdSense was the way you want to get out of your job?
Yeah, it's because I don't know, it's not more of the, just relying on AdSense because as I mentioned, it's still kind of like throwing those links below there, right?
Yep.
But it's just the faceless YouTube as a whole. It just seemed like the right path for me. Like I've always been in love with, we can say, content creation and me just kind of being able to capitalize off of it. And I don't really like showing my face. So it's just like seems like the perfect thing that I could be doing. So
Okay. So you want something that's not showing your face. You want something that's interesting to you, which is content creation. And obviously you want to make the money, which your friend has done. So those kind of three things together, you're locked in that this is the direction you want to go. Is
yeah.
that accurate? Okay, cool. So let's get into then what you've been doing currently. That means within your 3 months, you haven't got to the same level as your friend. So, in terms of video production, how many videos are you launching on a weekly basis? Last week, how many did you publish?
Yeah, last week I didn't publish a video.
None.
Yeah, last week I couldn't really publish a video.
Okay. Why?
Yeah, it just was I was like out of town for a bit, so I just took that week off.
Okay. When did you last publish a video?
Yeah, I last published a video about like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. What has your schedule been aside from, if you're out of town, what has your publishing schedule been over the last 3 months? Is it once every 2 weeks or what is it?
Yeah, so in the first month I did once every 1 week, like one video every 1 week. But then when month two hit, that's where it kind of like slowed things down a bit, and I started only publishing like once every 2 weeks.
What slowed things down?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the fact of like month one not really seeing those significant changes. And I was spending a lot of time on these videos because I'm not outsourcing, I'm just doing everything like by myself. So just not really seeing the numbers go up, that was just like, damn, I'm doing something wrong. And it kind of like demotivated
And you,
me.
and you thought the solution was to reduce the amount of effort that you're putting in.
Well, I thought like I'll take more time to kind of think through my strategy and maybe
What?
make some like more thoughtful videos.
Thoughtful based on what?
Yeah, I mean like maybe like I will say like I'm putting in effort into those videos, but it's the thing of
Hang on,
like
go back. Thoughtful based on what?
I mean thoughtful based on what the algorithm likes.
The data that you would have been getting if you'd have been publishing more videos,
Yeah.
which you're now not doing.
Yeah, well, it's just it's not that easy, right? Because nonetheless, I
We're
still
not
don't
we're not talking
have.
about whether it's easy. We're talking about whether the thing that you're doing is going to make it easier for yourself or harder for yourself. I'm
No, but I
curious.
mean, if you look at it from the perspective, like it doesn't matter if I like pump out a bunch of videos if they're, not something that the algorithm likes, or they're not something, high quality, it's just not going to bring those results.
Yes, but how do you know what is high quality?
I just kind of compare it to the other videos out there on YouTube.
Is that not what you did for the first month when you did a video a week and it still didn't give you the results you wanted?
Yeah, I guess so it was. Yeah.
So if you were doing that the first month and now you're not doing that, are you getting closer to knowing what works or are you getting further away now because you're doing less production? And
Yeah, I'd say I'm
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'd say I'm definitely getting further away.
Okay.
Just in
I'm
the sense of like paralysis analysis,
100%. I'm not being harsh on you to, criticize you. I'm being direct with you to see if you understand the changes you need to make progress. And it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the real issue was not that you were having a more strategic approach by doing less videos. It was just simply you got disheartened and took your foot off the gas, which is understandable. That's part of human nature. But if you want to make the progress, you need to accept reality for what it is. Rationalizing and saying, I was being more strategic to post less often when you don't know what is strategic is just rationalizing. And I want to help you by showing you when you're lying to yourself or rationalizing or just making excuses so that we can see if we can fix this. Does that make sense?
yeah, makes total sense. And I mean, Josh, if I'm being honest, now like I would say, looking back at it, I wouldn't really say that I put in all that effort whatsoever. Like
Okay.
now when, you think about it, I only uploaded, what's that, like 8 videos in 3 months. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So, okay, well, that's very honest of you. Why are we on this call in the sense of why don't you just go and put in more effort on your own?
Yeah, because what I've been doing clearly hasn't worked. Maybe
Okay.
I would just kind of need to do a bit more research, and maybe then it would work out, maybe trying to produce some like a bigger quantity of content. Maybe that would allow me to do it, but I thought maybe, mentorship would be like a quicker way for me to get everything sorted out.
Do you think maybe it is, or are you certain it is, or where's your mindset on that?
Now, I mean, from what I know, like mentorships definitely do help, but it's also, there are a bunch of like questionable ones too. So it's like
Sure.
we really have to like weigh out your options here.
Mm, I mean, how are you going to know by weighing out your options? I agree with you. There's lots of uh, non-credible mentors out there, but weighing up your options, what do you mean? Ultimately, you're only
Y-
going to know once you hire a mentor and see if it works.
Yeah, it's just like the fact that I was kind of burned in the past because like faceless YouTube isn't the first thing that I'm trying. Like a year and a half ago, I tried dropshipping, got into a mentorship, and I was excited, and I never even got replies from the person mentoring me. So
Mm,
it's kind of like can be difficult sometimes just getting over that.
okay. Can I share my analysis of where we're at so far and see if you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me how accurate this is. The impression I've got, or the data I've got, is telling me that you're a guy who doesn't want to be working your 9 to 5. We didn't even get into why that is. We'll probably cover it later. But ultimately, you don't want to be there. And you've seen other people around you, such as your friend, that's gone and accomplished what you want to accomplish, which is got into faceless YouTube within 3 months, made basically the amount of money that you would have needed to quit your job. He's now making $11,000 or more. So that's other people. But if I'm getting all of these facts correct, the big picture challenge that I see with you that you need to decide if you're willing to address head on or not, and if that day is going to be today or not, is that everybody who's ever been successful has tried a bunch of things. And almost inevitably they get burned because things don't work out first time, unless you're super lucky. But everybody else who's made it to where you want to get to, as far as accomplishing a dream like leaving their job, when they got burned, they didn't let their foot off the gas or start going into analysis paralysis or start rationalizing or saying, I need to weigh everything up because now I'm going to be super careful and treading on eggshells. They got burned and they just moved forward. Whereas the track record that I'm hearing from you is when you've been burned in the past, whether it's mentorship, whether it's your first month of faceless YouTube videos not giving you the results you wanted, which we could say is being burned, your mental model right now is when you get burned, you back off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So hopefully you're enjoying this training. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, you can skip this. But if you've been watching my videos for weeks or months, you've gotten value, you've implemented, you're making more money because of it, the question I have for you is, what are you doing? Still sitting on the outside? Are you someone who's going to continue to just watch free content when deep down being on the inside, being mentored by me directly, being around other unicorn closers is the thing that would take you to the next level? If you think you're getting value from the free content I'm putting out here on YouTube, what do you think happens inside the mastermind? So if you know you're ready, if you're at that point, you've seen what you needed to see, click the link below this video, jump inside. I'll see you there. Now back to the training.
It makes total sense, but I'll be honest, like this time it just can't be the fact that I kind of let my foot off the gas. Like I do have to commit to it, man.
Okay, well, before we get to that, how accurate was my assessment of why you haven't accomplished what you want to accomplish?
It's accurate. I'll definitely say that it is accurate because I can't, I'll be honest, like yes, when things got harder and when I didn't ex see the results that I expected, it's just like I lose motivation. It's just seeing my friends being successful within the online space and me just not being able to achieve that. It's kind of like, well, when we were in school, I always used to be like the top guy, getting all the best grades. And now, I'm still working in a shitty like retail job and they're having these online businesses here. So it's like when I feel put down, it's like I lose that inner motivation, and that's kind of been the pattern that I've been repeating. So
Mm-hmm. Where are you at now with whether you're willing to continue that pattern?
I'm not willing to continue that pattern. No.
Okay. It's been a pattern by the sound of things all your life when you actually went out into the real world. Maybe at school, things are fairly easy. There's not really any big failures in school, but now you're out in, the real world. The real world is the people that get ahead, the people that have success, they fail and they fail again and they fail again, but they just keep going until eventually they hit success. So, given that this has been the way you've been showing up, what is causing such a, a secure decision that you want to do things differently?
Because it's the thing, 3 months ago when I got into faceless YouTube, it got announced that basically my contract is ending, and
Which
it's
contract? Sorry.
with my job.
Ah, okay.
So it's like it's ending in 3 months now.
Hmm.
And I'll be honest, the first 3 months I just didn't really commit. I slept through it. I thought, it's just 6 months ago. Like when it was back then, I was like, it's just 6 months. Like it's just in 6 months. And now sitting here, still not having a successful channel, I'm like, shit, it's coming up in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And the choice is like I either go find a different job or I just do this. And I'm definitely don't want to go find a different job.
Why is that? What's so bad about another job?
Because it's the thing of how I've been treated in this job. I'm just scared of the same pattern just repeating itself in the other job. And looking at it, I don't really see how it can be different.
What do you mean? How you got treated? What happened?
Yeah, it's just the fact of I work about like 50 hours a week most of the time, and I've been doing this for the whole 3 years. And it's the thing of I barely took any vacations. I barely got any days off. I missed quite a lot of holidays, honestly. And that's just now going forward, I'm not trying to do the same.
Okay. Was there any like specific moment where you got treated like that and that was like a turning point for you? I know you said your contract's coming up as well, but was there any moment recently?
Yeah, so recently it was about like a month ago.
Okay.
It was my mom's birthday. So I've missed two birthdays so far. Like my mom's birthdays, I missed two of them, and that one was like the third one. I was like, I'm definitely not missing that one. But one guy left the job, so it's like someone had to change him. And even though I asked, so like, yo, can I just have this day off? I just want to go to my mom's birthday. It's like, nope, we have no one to change this position. You have to be there, or we're going to be talking. We're going to see what we're going to be doing with you going forward. So it's like, I suppose they were just talking about firing me if I don't listen to them.
How did that make you feel knowing that you were basically forced into a position where you had to let your mum down? How did that feel when you were in that kind of your back against the wall?
It didn't feel great. Honestly, it's like I called my mom that day on the phone just to at least like wish her a happy birthday, and is the fact of I could hear the actual sadness in her voice when she was like, "Oh, it's all fine. I understand. You have to work. Don't worry about it." And it's just like she's getting older. Like I don't know how many more birthdays there will be, right? So
Makes sense. Has there been any other areas of your life where you've been in this basically forced position because of your job where you've had to let people down or let yourself down? Has that affected your life in any other areas?
I'll say the biggest thing for me is just like my social life.
Okay.
I lost a lot of people, honestly, because I just didn't go to events, or when if I wanted to go to events, I'm working 50 hours a week. I'm just too tired to do it. Honestly, I'm just like sleeping throughout the weekend. And and the other thing is also if there is an event, I'm potentially working. So it's like constant. And it's really hard to plan out events because my schedule isn't set. It's always like random, thrown around the week. So it's like I missed a bunch. I definitely missed a bunch of gatherings with my friends, and we're not talking anymore. So
So you lost those friends because of this.
yeah, I mean, I suppose if I would send them a message, they would like gladly, kind of talk to me, but it's not that kind of friendship that it used to be in the past. Those friendships are long gone.
Okay. Any other areas of your life? What about things like, does it affect you being able to take care of your health or dating or anything else?
Yeah, dating, I don't know, but just put that to the side for now, but when you kind of say it, the health is definitely not the best too. It's like I'm constantly just drinking like three energy drinks a day just to go through the day, especially in my job, getting like 5 hours of sleep. So definitely not feeling the best, honestly. And the gym, that's just out of the question. I I haven't been to the gym for a while now. So
Are you okay with that? I mean, some people don't care about going to the gym.
of course I'm not. Like when I was back in high school, I used to power lift. Now I
Okay.
used to hold like the national record, but well, how the ways turned out, right?
Okay. So another kind of pattern that I'm drawing here, and tell me if this is accurate, is have you had this like, I don't want to call it a midlife crisis because you seem fairly young, but kind of this transition crisis of going from the version of you that you were in school to the version of you that you are now in the adult world? Because it sounds like when you're in school, you were crushing it. You were getting good grades, you were powerlifting, you had a social life. I assume you went to your mum's birthdays. And then now that you've gone into the real world as an adult, with all due respect, it sounds like nothing's really working for you. Did you have kind of like holy shit, this is the real world. And, it's almost like this contrast between life was really, or it sounds like it was really good for you when you're at school, and then you kind of just went poof and went into the adult world. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. And I'll be honest with you, it's quite a recent thing because just like a week ago, I met one of my like actual high school buddies, and we were like just chatted a bit on the street, and he was like, "Yo, Dom, you're like the pure definition of peaked in high school." I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" He's like, "You're working a retail job. Like you used to be so cool in high school, and this is how you turned out." And that just hit me. That just hit me quite a bit. And if I'm being frankly honest, of course, I'm doing this for myself, getting
Sure.
into it, but it's also to kind of prove them wrong. It's to prove them that I can pick myself back up and that I can not peak just in high school, just peak in life overall, right?
Nice. Makes total sense. What do you think you need to prove them wrong that you don't have right now?
I think I need actual guidance and accountability getting
Mhm.
into doing something like faceless YouTube. Because I'll be quite honest, like one of my buddies that I mentioned, I asked him like, "What are you doing?" Like I told him like, "Yo, bro, I like when I was 2 months into posting, I'm like, yo, I'm getting no traction." And he's like, "Yo, just got to work with someone who's done it before." So he
Mm,
he has a mentorship. Like he does have a mentorship, and I was kind of because was telling you about my previous experience, I was a bit skeptical of it still. Like even though he was getting results, but a month later, I'll be honest, it's just seeing him reach those exceptional results, all those things happening. I'm like, I'm just going to stop past experiences dictating my future. Like that's what I kind of thought.
makes total sense. So, of all the people that you could make that leap with and stop letting your past experiences dictate your future and do what your buddy recommended, who's got the results you want, which is work with someone that's already done it, why us?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, even though my buddy isn't working with you guys specifically, it's like I've seen the actual results that you can bring, and I saw that the results he got in 6 months. Like a lot of people in your guys' community, they got those results in like 4 months. So it's like I know that there's probably something that you guys have that can even make the process even more efficient and even more quicker. And that's just perfect for me knowing that in 3 months I just have the choice of either doing this full time or just getting back into a normal job.
What do you want to do?
I definitely don't want to just go the regular route that I've been doing for the past 3 years. Definitely not.
Okay. I'm pretty clear on everything. There might be some missing pieces that you can fill me in on, but let me break down what I've got and then tell me if there's anything I missed. So, you were at school and everything was pretty good. You were powerlifting, you were social, assume you saw your mum for her birthday, you were getting good grades, and life was pretty much excellent. You've then gone into the adult world, and I guess you probably were fairly okay with things in terms of, you're doing this job, it's not that great, but it is what it is. Until time caught up on you, so to speak, and the people that you were at school with that you were above, they're now above you. And that was kind of the hang on a second. I thought I was all right. Not all right, but it was bearable, this 9 to 5 job. It was what it is. But how the fuck are these people that I was ahead of? How are they now ahead of me? They're making more money. They've got a social life. They're not letting their mum down and be upset on their birthdays and things like that. And the kind of vehicle that you saw a specific friend of yours using was faceless YouTube. And so you got into that and thought, oh, I'll just do that. But after a few months, this kind of undeveloped part of your personality, which is the fact that at school everything just worked. Now in the real world, things don't work, so easily. There's been this kind of undeveloped part of your personality, which is when the going gets tough, now you've basically just quit. You've stopped putting in massive action. You've stopped really giving it everything, kind of went into research mode as opposed to actually just doing more work. And as a result of that, the friend of yours that is crushing it on faceless YouTube, making $11,000 a month, you've not been able to catch up to him. But now, from some recent situations with this I won't call him a friend, but this person that you bumped into from school saying, "Oh, hey Dom, you just peaked in school," that pissed you off, and you're like, "Okay, no, I'm not going to accept that. I want to prove them wrong," which I love that. I admire that. And you spoke to your friend who said, "Dom, if you want to prove these guys wrong, if you don't want to have just peaked in high school, you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need someone to show you what you're doing." And you've seen from us that we can help you do that. And if I'm getting this all correct, you're at that point now where you don't want your past experiences to dictate your future, missing any more of your mum's birthdays, not having a social life, losing more friends, having to sign a new work contract in 3 months' time to go and start another 9 to 5 job. And is there anything I missed? And basically, the thing that's going to allow you to do that is you need to put in more work, go back to doing a video a week, maybe more, have the training on what to do so that those videos are successful, so that you get up to the point where you can make AdSense money. And you know that that AdSense will make you enough because your friend's making $11,000 a month. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. It's like just reading from a book, honestly, over the past couple of years. So
I'm actually illiterate. No, I'm just kidding. Is there anything I missed?
nah, you're spot on. You're definitely spot on.
Okay. What do you want to do? Because, you know, you have to kill this old version of you, this version of you that when things are hard, you basically back down. Do you want to do
I want to
that
kill it.
today?
I want to kill it right now.
Why?
I know this kind of version is just isn't going to it isn't going to take me far, right? I know that the same story is going to repeat if I just put this off any longer. The contract ends, still going back to a job and basically going through the same things. Still missing more of my mom's birthdays, friends, so like past friends potentially still bumping up, reminding me that I just peaked in high school. And I can only imagine how nice it would feel bumping into them and kind of seeing, them in their regular jobs and me just actually working from my home, right? Having maybe the car that I want, the house that I want. So I'm definitely looking to kill that old version.
So what do you have to do to kill that old version in regards to you have had situations like every successful person where you've been burned. Your current way of dealing with that is to contract and to, go back into research mode and, play it safe basically. What do you need to do to ensure, and I love it, that next time you bump into your friends, they're looking at you going, holy shit, how do we get to his level? What do you need to change?
The past is the past. I can't fix it, but getting into getting into the future, getting into the present even now, it's if I want to kill that version of Dom, I also have to kill this mindset that where I was burned before, I can't trust people online and I've definitely gotten to the point where I want to just kill that old Dom and want to begin like a new life, we can say.
Do you want to do that today with us?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. At this point, Dom, we'd love to bring you aboard. I'll take you through the plan A through to Z. It will just take you through step by step. You're going to do this, 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 this. You will know exactly what you need to do. We're going to hold you accountable. We're going to be with you every step of the way. I'll take you through A through to Z. You can ask any questions, and then we'll go ahead and get you enrolled. Sound good?
Perfect, man. Let's get into it.
All right. There you go. All right, Dom, how was that? I believe that's your first time being a prospect, so I hope you're okay.
Of course, man. Jeez, that was just masterful, honestly. Because I honestly get a bunch of prospects just being like a mess, honestly, like being all over the place. And I see myself in these situations like I'm still not clear on what the guy wants to do,
Neither
but
was
you're
I.
still like you're curious, like you're still all right, just clarify this for me. Like you're still not letting him go. And I see myself being in situations like I'll just assume maybe this is the right thing. And it's just insane. And the biggest thing for me that was just mind blowing is the fact that you did kind of find the underlying thing of the high school. It's like it wasn't something that I mentioned a ton, but it's like you just found that and you actually found like that underlying, like even on like the coaching call on Wednesday, when you kind of like found out that the girl, had something against skinny people. So it's like I felt like it was this similar like situation, which is just
Exactly the
mind
same, Dom.
blowing.
Yep.
It's just mind blowing for me. So now I'll definitely say that was one of the best experiences within the whole time that I've been in sales. Definitely one of the best experiences.
I'm glad to hear that. Why was it one of the best experiences for you? What was different to, I guess, what you've been doing in high ticket sales up until now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in here only for 4 days, and I already shared the bunch of things that I'm kind of learning, a bunch of shifts that I'm having. But I never, I've never seen such genuine conversations. Honestly, I've never, because every team, like when I got into sales, I when I got into closing, I always was just like scriptless. I was doing scriptless because I was taught by one of the members inside of the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, Scott Brunning. So
Nice.
I always did scriptless, and I never saw people do that. And like you hop on a team coaching call, people just, oh, you gotta pre-handle the wife objection, you gotta pre-handle the time objection, like just bringing stuff out of thin air. And it's like, geez, now this, like I felt it through. Like when we went into more of the emotional part, I just I just felt that. Like I honestly just felt chills going down my body. It's like I feel like this is a genuine conversation. So it's just insane. Totally different environment.
Thank you for sharing that, Dom. That's amazing. All right, guys. I actually had the chat closed the entire time on the role play. Normally, I don't. Normally, I'm actually trying to watch both, but I thought I don't want to do that. On that note, guys, I believe, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, I believe I was much more chill than I have been on role plays where I've been the closer. Did anybody notice that? Okay, good. The reason was because that's more accurate to how I would be on a real sales call, but normally I'm half in coaching mode, reading the chat, trying to like see what you guys are saying and bouncing off what you're saying. If I'm just on a sales call, my entire world has disappeared. It's just me and Dom. And so I wanted to replicate that a little bit more. For those that have heard my calls in the mastermind, that call now with Dom would have been much closer to my actual real sales calls. Okay. Now, the second thing, as I said, I didn't see any of the chat. So I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to bring up any of the things that you were commenting as we were going through that you would like to discuss or just simply that you would like to point out. Then let's go through all of that. Great prospect, by the way, Dom. Very, very good. I
Yeah,
was like, are we on a
appreciate
real
it.
sales call? Halfway through, I was like, is Dom actually just telling me his life right now or is he making all this up?
So the first thing I want to say is I'm noticing how high level you're analyzing the different pattern recognition because there were two things you noticed. The first thing you noticed is the fact that he tends to go into a contracting mindset when shit starts to hit the fan. And in my head, I'm like, okay, that's his mental model. Like, that's how we're going to get him, kind of. But then you also made the realization between the disparity of how he was in high school versus how he is in his adult life. And if anything, that mental model or that pattern that you recognize had an even bigger impact emotionally on him because he gave you the story of his friend that said he peaked in high school, and that drew out even more emotion from him than when he gave you the story of him missing his mother's birthday. Because I thought originally, okay, that's the story. Like, okay, that's the detailed story that we need to get into, but there was actually another version, right? So I came to the conclusion that there's not just one aha moment or one pattern recognition mental model that someone could be operating on. And the more of those that you can understand from the person, the more the person will trust you.
Mm.
Um,
Let me
and the
just
other thing I wanted to mention,
before
sorry.
you go on to that, no, that was wonderful. Let me just visualize why I'm doing that. Your beliefs are very, very important as far as your foundation. My belief is that when someone books in an inbound sales call, the level at which they are showing up to that call is equivalent of they probably know it's a high ticket sale. So they know it's going to be somewhere in the region of thousands of dollars. They know that it's going to be joining some type of training, coaching, mentorship, community, all of that. They know that it's going to require change. They're going to have to just simply become a different version of themselves, start learning new things, etc. Now, I believe because it's inbound sales, that the version of the person that chose to book in that call is already at this level, because I believe they probably already knew all of this when they booked in a call. They didn't just accidentally find themselves on a sales call. And so when Bradley's saying, okay, we got to this like first story here and it was like the mum and blah, blah, blah. And then we got like another pattern and that was like pattern number one. What I'm doing in my head, and if I'm honest, it's probably in my body more than my head. It's more like a feeling. I'm like, have we got enough that I think we're at this level? Do I think we're at the same level as what's already inside of this prospect? My belief is that there is enough juice that's ready for the squeeze because this prospect booked in an inbound sales call and they know it's going to be thousands of dollars. They know it's going to require massive change. They know they're going to be learning something new, getting coaching, getting mentorship, etc. So energetically, the feeling of the call, after I heard the bit about the mum, I was like, well, that's good as far as good in terms of useful for the sale. I had the first pattern recognition, but in my mind, I'm like, there's more in here. Like, I just know that there's more to uncover in here because I don't think we're at the level that was already there when he booked in the sales call. Your job is to just excavate all of these different things to kind of get to the level of, oh yeah, that makes sense why this person went out of their way and decided to book in a sales call to consider investing $10,000. Does this make sense, Bradley?
So internally, you have to feel that, okay, this makes sense as to why they are in this mental model of the belief that you already have of them before they even got on the call.
Yeah. I'm looking at their actions and I'm going, well, it's like they say, don't listen to what people say, watch what they do. Well, when I watch, metaphorically, someone book in an inbound high ticket sales call, what I see, you guys probably just see this. I've got a calendar and it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. And I've got a booking and his name's Dom. What you guys see is this. Oh, someone booked on my calendar. What I see is a human being that has the consideration to invest 10K, that wants to join training, coaching, mentorship, community, that is ready to make a change. I energetically see this version of the person. Now, if I draw it visually, if any of you know about auras, you guys see this thing, which is just a random name on a calendar, and you see an aura that's like this, like just some tiny fucking aura around the person. When I see someone book in, because I'm analyzing what it means that they booked in a sales call, I see a person that has an aura like this. So then when I'm having a conversation with them and we've got to the mum and then we've got to the first pattern recognition, I'm like, there's still all of this left. Like there's more going on to this person because he booked in a sales call knowing that this is going to be thousands of dollars. He wants to make a change. He wants to get around a mentor. So I'm like excited to like keep like dancing with it and seeing like there's got to be more in here. Does that make sense, Bradley?
Yeah, that's kind of a light bulb moment for me because you already have this preconceived notion of the person before you even meet them. You already see the potential in them and why they would even do this. And until you uncover that moment that matches that aura that you had before they even jumped on the call, you're not just going to settle for what they're saying. You're going to keep going until it actually makes sense why they even got on the call. Yep. That's huge because
it's beliefs. It's starting at the belief level. Yep. Massive.
And let me give you a calendar.
Yeah, like I've got two more stories for this, guys. Let me give another one, and this is like a reciprocal. If any of you have ever heard the idea of, oh, don't meet your heroes, because the image that you have of your hero is going to be they're like super amazing, and then you meet them and you're like, oh, they're just like not that incredible. This is the opposite, where I'm like, the hero of the story is this incredible human being that booked themselves. I didn't have to contact them. They booked themselves onto a sales call to buy a $10,000 product and make a change in their life. So I'm looking at this person, and the image that I have of them in my head, if it was a guy, oh, it's going to be a terrible drawing, is going to be like this, fucking jacked guy with like massive biceps. And I'm like, this guy's already the hero of the story. So then when I'm having a conversation with them and I'm only seeing like this normal version of them, I'm like, no, this is the real version of them. I need to explore it and peel off the layers until I actually see the version that I know they are. It's like the reciprocal of the not meet your heroes thing is like, if you did meet your hero and they were like an alcoholic or something, and you're like trying to keep forcing the image until it matches what you believed them to be, that's kind of what I'm doing on a sales call. I'm like, I know that they're not this loser, this alcoholic, this indecisive person, this person that doesn't have a story. I'm like, that's not true. I don't believe that. I believe they've got a deep human story and a passion and a determination and a clarity of what they want to do and how they're going to do it. And I'm going to keep digging until I find that version of them. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah? Holy shit, yes.
And then the second story, guys, of like probably what you guys believe currently, which is very bad, is you get this person on your sales call and they come to the sales call, and sometimes they turn up to the sales call, and sometimes even before the sales call. How many of you have these thoughts of like, this person probably just accidentally booked in on my calendar. They're probably not even sure what they want to do. They're probably broke as well. Oh, I'm going to have to ask them a bunch of questions to figure out what they want to do. And you've got all these like views of the prospect of being a fucking imbecile. That's not going to get you very far, guys, if you view your prospects as imbeciles. I view my prospects as these incredible heroes of the world that are booking in sales calls to change their life and change the lives of the people around them. So I'm like, man, like I'm so excited to talk to you. And if you're giving me little drip feeding bits of the story, I'm like, oh, well, whatever. I'll just keep following the bouncy ball until I actually find the version of you that I know you to be. This is where you're creating your reality through your expectations. There's a book called The Expectation Effect, which is what you believe to see is what you're going to see. If you believe that your prospects are these people that, for however you can rationalize this in your head, guys, oh, they just accidentally booked on my calendar without really knowing what they want to do. It's like, really, guys? Like you have these absurd beliefs of like how your prospects just accidentally booked on the calendar. I have these empowering beliefs of like, wow, like this person's super busy. They've got a wife and kids, life's hard. They've got other shit going on, but they found the time, made the time, committed the time to book in a call. What an incredible human being. Does that make sense, Bradley?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you for bringing that up. You said you had another point.
Yeah, just real quick. You have to embody the person that has the authority to tell the prospect how to show up in life. For example, how the hell are you going to tell successful people fail all the time, but they always get back up and come back up stronger if you're not doing that yourself in your life? Because if you're not doing that in your own life, it's going to come off as an incongruency, which is probably going to be subconscious to the prospect. And they're going to feel like, I don't know, it doesn't sound right. But when you say it, they fucking believe it, or I fucking believe it, because I know you're actually doing that in your life. So that's just another internal mastery type of thing that I noticed.
That's huge as well. And when you say they know you're doing it in your life, how? How does the prospect that is listening to me telling them what to do and why to do it and how to do it, how do they know? Energy. It's not that they literally are watching me living my life. And so this is why the internal mastery is so important, because people feel it. They feel when someone is preaching to them, and they feel when someone is leading them. And leading versus preaching. Preaching is, I'm not doing what I'm going to tell you to do, but I'm going to tell you to do it. Leading is, I'm doing it, you're not, and I'm going to pull you up with me because I believe in you. There's a big, big difference energetically. And this is why so many salespeople get stuck, guys, because part one of the sales call is you need the data. Part two of the sales call is you need to make an assessment and tell the person, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what's going on. Is that accurate? Yes. And then you have to say, well, this is what you need to do. And at that second piece of the sales call, no matter what words are written on your script, guys, or what word tracks, if you don't have your life, at least you're putting it in order. You don't have to have it all together yet, but at least you're on the path. You can't deliver that second part of a sales call. A sales call needs two things: get the data to show the person what to do, but then make a stand and put a line in the sand of, this is what you need to decide. Are you going to step over? Having the ability to do that with another human being, guys, requires that you're on the path yourself. That's why so many salespeople they just can't close people, because they can do all the questions, they can get all the data, they can, what are you doing currently? How's it going? Okay, do you like what you're doing? Blah, 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 all of that bullshit. But then when it comes to actually telling them what to do, they just can't do it. And that's why internal mastery comes first.
I would also add, it's kind of like the first thing that you kind of talked about is like getting them to be that hero. Like in this role play specifically, just really seemed like the guy was in high school, kind of peaking, powerlifting, being this like guy that got all the good grades, and then he came down to just the guy working in retail, missing mom's birthdays, just not living the life that he wants. And I was kind of like, you're selling me on me being like, it's like the hero comeback basically. It's like you're selling me on the actual comeback of me just being even a better version than the Dom in high school. So it's kind of like just insane how it all comes down to it.
Very well noticed. Yeah, guys, like probably 10% of that call was about faceless YouTube. 20% max barely fucking spoke about faceless YouTube, because nobody cares about faceless YouTube, guys. It's just, do you have enough belief, which hopefully you guys saw me tie this down. Do you have enough belief that faceless YouTube is the vehicle that you need? And I tied him down on that because he said, or when I said, why, he basically said, I've got a friend that did it. Okay. So are you 100% certain that this is what you want to and need to do? Yes, that was it. That's all I need on the vehicle. So long as I've tied that down, that's it. Everything else is a conversation about this guy and what's going on in his life. All right. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, hope you're good. Great call. Felt very intense. I didn't catch the beginning, but when I came in, it was like felt very intense. So Dom, you done a great job. But big takeaway, Josh, was what you just mentioned about the beliefs of the prospect. That's huge. I'm really glad I caught that, because I was thinking like it's so used to, especially if you've not closed a few and you feel like you've been on a call with a few wasted times, you can easily carry that onto the next prospect, where it's like that's the prospect's first call with you, even though you've done a bunch of others.
Yeah.
So having that belief is big, and it's like Dom just said it there, where maybe even if they don't feel that aura in themselves, the fact that you expect that of them, they might like start raising towards that and feeling like, shit, this guy actually believes I'm someone, so maybe I am someone, and they step into that. So I mean that's a leader, right? It's how you lead. So that was amazing. And one thing that I noticed a lot as well is just the tie downs, man. You're just not risking the commission like whatsoever. It's like tie down after tie down, which is yeah, like for me in the past, I could be very easy just to skim through things and take things at face value of what they say, which is a habit that you need to overcome for sure.
Yeah.
And one thing which is like I tested in the last like 10 minutes, when I'm watching these calls, I'm kind of detached a little bit in terms of I'm trying to get takeaways. Whereas like, and I try and ask the questions that I think you're gonna ask, and most of the time I don't get it right. You ask a different question, but then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drop the pen. I'm literally just gonna like almost be the closer and just clear my mind. And my questions started matching yours more times. I was like, that's interesting.
Yep.
So that
That's
was
very powerful.
Yeah, big takeaway.
Because your questions aren't going to come from your head. What do I think Josh is going to say next? Your questions are going to come from the prospect. If you're present with the prospect and you're looking at them and they're saying something, you're responding to what they're saying. Whereas when you've got a piece of paper and you're like, logically, tactically, what is Josh going to say next? You're not actually getting the questions from the right source. The source of your questions is the prospect, not your head, not your logic of sales training and how it should be.
I love what you and Kevin just discussed. That was my dominant thought as you were going through it. Is in my perspective, you weren't necessarily doing anything quote unquote advanced. A lot of the questions we hear all the time, right? What do you feel like you need? What do you want to do about it? But I noticed your speed, or maybe pacing is a better word, was those questions were just so ready to hand, like at your fingertips. I noticed for me and watching other people's call reviews, like sometimes we are a little bit slower to try to think about the right question, where for you, you were just, I mean, they were just right there for you, you know? And it sounds like based on what you just discussed with Kevin, that's just a matter of being present.
Yep. 100%. It's just being present and detachment, because you can be present and trying to manipulate the conversation. And then the questions that come in your head are from a place of what can I use against the prospect? Whereas so long as you're detached and present, your questions are just, well, let's just discuss it. Let's just have a conversation and see what we both agree is or isn't going to happen. It's very fluid. There's no like, oh, I need this question next and put that in there and get Dom to, move in this direction. It's just, okay, I'm also curious about this. Like, okay, what do you want to do? So it's detachment and presence. You need both.
I'm also curious if you want to answer if there's any particular reason you decided to be the closer today.
Yeah, because told me stop being lazy. So
Fair enough. Cool. Thanks.
nah, just said it's time for a change. So I was like, yep, it's part of having a mentor. All right, Pastor, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It was a great call. Some trainings I get a like logical understanding. This one I felt it in my like hands. I got chills. And my biggest takeaway is it's like we talked about it before. It's like you have that like daddy energy, that authority, and it's like, but it's at the same time you're challenging them, but it's like there's so much love there too. And dude, I just want to get there because I feel like there isn't that many like models in society. Like I think back in my life, I'm like, I've had many coaches. Even my dad, like I love him, but he's not quite there. So just getting there, man, it's huge. It's huge.
That's a massive takeaway, Pastor. I'll share a very brief personal story of I think why this was so profound for me before I share the story. Did everybody catch what Pastor said, guys? Being able to challenge someone, which is a direct energy, a very dominant energy, whilst giving them an immense amount of love. That is, if I say so myself, even though I'm the one doing it, that is very, very, very high levels of consciousness. Low level of consciousness is to be someone that's super direct but doesn't really love very deeply. Also, very low level of consciousness is to be a fucking hippie that loves everything and everyone and is like, kissing the grass, but isn't able to lead people or be direct. You can't have one without the other if you want to be a high level of consciousness. You need both. Okay. So I agree with you 100%, Passer. When I first got to witness this, and by witness, I mean feel it, it was obviously from the Underground Mentor on his sales calls. I was like, how is this person so caring, but so direct and just so able to just dom someone up, but not from a place of like, you think he's an asshole. He's doming you up and you're like, holy shit, like this person is actually leading me and actually carrying me. And when I got to feel that for the first time, it was a game changer for me because exactly as you said, I've never had a mentor or a role model in my life that was able to do that. And I think for me, if I share a brief personal story, guys, it was even more profound because I grew up with two dads. When I was one, my parents got divorced. A year later, my mum found my stepdad. So basically from the age of like 2, I had two dads. I had my biological dad and I had my stepdad. And my biological dad, most loving person ever, like just the kindest person ever, but had never really accomplished that I looked up to. So he was super loving, but I didn't really admire him for his accomplishments. And then my stepdad was ex-special forces and a super successful businessman, but very, very cold. And so I had these like two role models, but what I always wanted in my life, and this was unconscious, I didn't know this, was to be able to bring the two sides together, to be able to see that you could have both of those in one person. And when I met the Underground Mentor, I was like, holy shit, that is actually a reality. It's not like a unconscious dream of mine that I've always wanted to be able to see. For me, it was a man, could be a woman as well, but a man that was very, very loving and caring and very like more deep on the spiritual side, but also super accomplished, multimillionaire, the most incredible communicator, super great, fun person to be around, just accomplished in all areas. And so that for me was very personal. And I think that's another big reason why high ticket sales for me is such a deep love of mine, was because not only is the industry able to change your life, you're helping people, you're having conversations, you're mastering communication, and you're able to make a shitload of money. But the individual that taught me high ticket sales, the underground mentor, was the exact role model that I'd always wanted for my entire life. So it was very, very profound for me. So I'm glad that you picked up on that, Passer.
Yeah, I think that's what like attracted me to you, honestly. Like having that role model in like in real life I can learn from. So
Yeah.
thank you.
No, thank you. You're very welcome.
Just a little follow-up from my end on kind of like the same question, because
Sure.
what I've seen is like when people actually do, it's probably also ties down into my beliefs, but it's when people booking themselves, like organic bookings coming in, like from through the VSL. It's like after I like stack the data, asked what shifted, it's like they give me an actual like reason. But it's
Yeah.
like when a person has been said, it's like not really giving me that good of a reason. Maybe it's just like because my beliefs, and I might ask sometimes just prematurely, but I don't know, it's still kind of in the terms of the shifting moment, like what do you think? Is it just kind of like the same level, or
I
is
didn't
it
quite
more
understand.
subtle?
I
Like
didn't
for
quite
the people
understand the
that are
question.
set on, like for the people that are set on the calendar and the people that just book in themselves, do you think that the shifting moment, it does have like a difference? It's like stronger for one or the other.
Okay, let me explain it in a different way. This is me. This is my prospect living their life over here in their little bubble. I'm over here in my bubble. I don't look at it on the level of analysis of which funnel, whether it's a set call, whether it's inbound, none of this. I don't view it really in that level of analysis. What I view it as if there happens to be a reality where this human being has now come over. Oh, I wanted the other color. Hang on. Has now come over to my life and they're now somewhere in my vicinity. I believe the very fact that him and I, or her and I, are now connected, there's a story to be found. I just simply view, I'm on the phone with this person. It's not a fucking coincidence. I'm on the phone with this person. There's something going on in their life. I don't think about, oh, they came from this funnel or that funnel or inbound or outbound or setter or no setter. I'm just like, God didn't put this person on my calendar to have a fucking cucked conversation about the weather. I'm on the God has put this person on my calendar because I'm the motherfucker that's going to have a deep conversation with them. And God wants me to be the person that has it. So there's got to be something going on in this person's life that there's something there. I just don't believe that God brings people to my life for me to be like, so did you have a turning point moment? And they're like, no. And I'm like, oh, okay, no worries. I just don't think that's real. Does that make sense, Dom?
Yeah,
Like,
makes
why do you
sense.
think why do you think you've got the opportunity to talk to all these people? If you look at it on a Newtonian level, which is just, linear, oh well, they were living their life, they saw an ad, they went through a funnel, they went through Facebook, they turned up to the sales call. If you look at everything like that, of course you're gonna be like, oh well, this person went through this funnel instead, so maybe there's no reason. I'm not looking at life like that. I'm like, God is up here in his little, I don't know why he's got no fucking body there, but he's got body, he's got his arms, he's up there in his little cloud, and I'm down here, living my life. And God's like, right, there's a person down here that doesn't like their life. I'm going to send him over to Josh, and Josh is going to have a conversation with him. I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be something for us to have a conversation about. It's not random. I just, and to be clear, guys, I'm not saying literally like God, the creator, is like controlling everything. I just think this is physics. Like if you actually look at quantum physics, there's a reason that this person and I were resonating on an energetic vibration or frequency that was at the same level. This person's now at 500, I'm at 500. Therefore, magnetically, they were attracted over to me. I just don't think this unison is coincidence. Does that make sense? And whether this is right or wrong, this goes back to what I was saying about accurate thinking is choosing to believe what you want to believe that's going to serve you. I don't care if someone wants to sit there on fucking Reddit, or not Reddit, Quora or whatever it is, and say, I'm a quantum physicist and this is technically not accurate. I'm like, I don't give a fuck whether it's technically accurate or not. It's useful for me. It serves me. It serves other people. It makes me money. It helps other people. I'm just going to believe it because it's the useful belief that I choose to believe. And that's what Napoleon Hill says in the book is accurate thinking, is choosing to believe what's going to serve you. If you're down in the dumps and everything's falling apart in your life and you choose to believe you're a superhero, well, technically you're not because your life sucks. But if you choose to believe that, what Napoleon Hill says, that's what's highly likely to bring you up out of the well and get you back up on top, is to choose to believe things. Does that make sense?
Total sense. Thank you.
Beautiful. Again, a belief of mine, and this belief was confirmed by the undergrad mentor, that when I first got into high ticket sales and I didn't close some people, my belief was, oh, you know, they're not closable or whatever. And the undergrad mentor every time would tell me something from the call review or just tell me something I could have said. And I'm like, fuck, I think he would have closed him. And so very, very quickly within my first 3 months of sales, the belief was installed in my head that there isn't a prospect that didn't close because they weren't qualified. It was because of me. It was always because of me, because there was always something I could have done. And so all that to say, if you go through the transcript and you go through the call review, you'll find something. You'll find something that at very least could have made a significant dent in whether they ended up buying or not. Yeah. Don't get off calls, guys, and be like, oh, they're not qualified. Because that, again, going back to the accurate thinking, that's not a useful belief. A better belief would be, there's something that I could have done better. And then you go, like, even if you go back through the call review and transcript, and like, I could have done this, and this, and you nail the revision of the call, and you think, maybe they still wouldn't have closed. Well, look at all the progress you just made in your learning by seeing all the additional things that you could have done. That's still massively beneficial, right?
Taking ownership.
Massive ownership, radical ownership, as opposed to, oh, you know, it's the prospects. All right, another high ticket role play with me being the closer. Now, there's a number of things we covered, but I'm going to focus on the main 4. Number 1, Dom said, I've never seen or felt such genuine conversations. If you want to make a load of money in sales, whilst also enjoying sales and helping a lot of people, your conversations have to feel like that. And even if they didn't have to feel like that to close people, because obviously you can still close some people that are just lay down sales that are desperately wanting your product anyway, do you want to get to a level where you can have these profound conversations? Trust me when I say it's a hell of a lot more fun. It's way more fulfilling, more meaningful. You have purpose. You feel like you're truly connecting with another human being, and you're actually mastering human conversations rather than just scripts. Your conversations should be at a level where it feels like it felt on that conversation for Dom. Number 2, beliefs on your prospects. You saw me break down the beliefs. You have to check in with your beliefs. If your beliefs on your prospects are not positive, that will self-sabotage you. The best way to change your beliefs is your environment. If you try and install a belief that is counterintuitive to the average belief of the people around you, you're going to have conflict. You're going to have friction. You're trying to go this way. Your past and your community around you is pulling you this way. Your network is pulling you that way. You want to align where you want to go in terms of your beliefs with the community and environment around you. That is why inside the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, as you can see on this call, everyone is stepping into alignment of this is what we are going to believe, and so are my peers going to believe that. Third one, internal mastery and how vital it is when it comes to challenging and leading your prospects. Your job on a sales call is to find the root cause of a problem, and it's always going to be the person. Something has meant they haven't got the training, the mentorship, the support, and the community that they need to solve a problem. Because your prospects aren't getting on phone calls to solve a problem that's never been solved in the world before. They're not trying to put humans on Jupiter, and therefore it's like, well, why haven't you solved the problem? Well, because nobody solved it before. No, they're trying to solve a problem that has been solved thousands of times before. Therefore, the issue isn't how to solve the problem. The issue is, why haven't you solved the problem? You, the prospect. Same with sales, by the way. If you're wanting to make a load of money in sales, master communication, have fun selling, live the life of your dreams, and you haven't done it yet, it's been done before. I've done it. Loads of other people have done it. You just need to align yourself with a mentor and do what they say and follow the plan. It's not rocket science. It's just get around someone that's done it before and step by step retrace their steps. That's all it takes. So when you're on the phone with your prospects, the issue isn't the problem. The issue is you can't challenge the prospect that they're the beginning and the end of the problem. And you won't be able to challenge a prospect without feeling incongruent if you're not challenging yourself to level up your life. That's why in the mastermind we teach internal mastery, so you can have that congruence. And the final one, please get yourself a role model that actually has the capacity to challenge people whilst also having a massive amount of love. When I got that in my life turned upside down. I went from 4 jobs, $2,000 a month, drinking, drugs, feeling lost in life, to making $100,000 a month, loving sales, loving the industry, helping a load of people, and building the life that I always wanted to live and becoming the person that I always wanted to become. The only way I was able to do that was to see there's someone who's already done it, a role model, a physical human being that was able to massively challenge people, but was also extremely loving. That is what changed my life. So if there were one takeaway from this video, if you don't have the dream ideal role model in your life, that is the one thing that will change your life more than anything. If you want to get around the other unicorns, if you want to work with me directly, if maybe you think I'm that role model for you, as some of the members in the chat put on this role play today, as Parsa said at the end of the call, then join. I'd love to see you inside. I'd love to be that role model for you. And if it's not me, it will be the underground mentor that will be that role model for you, because there is nobody that I have ever met, and I don't believe there's anyone I ever will meet, who is like him in terms of the level of human excellence that you could ever get to. So if you want to get around both of us, the underground mentor and myself, click the link below this video, join the mastermind, and we'll see you on the inside.